What's up, everyone? Coach Tony here. Welcome to the last open Q&A call of 2025. Is for me as well too. So this call is an open session. I don't have pretty much a huge agenda. So if anyone has any questions, this is open session for you guys. Plan to go around 30 minutes ish. Last week we had one. Not a lot of questions on last week's call, but if you guys have anything, feel free to drop in the chat. We can chitty chat it and answer any questions here. If there's no questions, we will wrap it up a little earlier too. But I'm planning to go on 30 minutes here. If anyone has any questions, go ahead and drop in the chat. For the purpose of the recording, though, I'm going to pause right here. All righty. We have a an essay I'm editing live as well too. Let's see. How the unique program achieve your goals. My experience creating. Okay, so the first paragraph you have, it's kind of like you're answering it out of order. Like I read it backwards, right? I would start with my goal is to be blank, and then during I got to intern somewhere, and that let me see this. That flows a lot better is number one. The issue though is I'm trying to understand how it's answering the question, right? You're mentioning that I'm assuming this is like the 4+1, like the accelerated program. Does that directly answer the accelerated program? Not really yet, right? I think you probably get into it later. The highest credentials, kind of favorite take. The second paragraph doesn't really tell me too much. Like I'm not sure we try to share with that is the key. Like in theory, I see, oh, he used Googled our catalog and pulled out a class, right? So what's so significant about that? Not much is the first thing. The program limits, right? Let me sign development AI system. Second analysis undergraduate work that's happened in software programs and dental school. Undergraduate work. Let me iterate. Okay, so here's the one. So question for you because I know the answer. Is this school specializing in AI? Is the question, right? Do they specialize in AI? Is that what makes this school's dentist program different? Or are you trying to integrate something in the answer? Is the question. The reason why I'm asking that question is I think you're trying to pull because if let's say this school is known for their AI, the AI stuff, cool. It makes a lot of sense, right? Why you're talking about bringing this up. But it sounds like you're trying to say I want to be a dentist. I want to be there faster. I also love AI. Let me try to find a way to mesh it together. But they focus on interdisciplinary. Is that what they're known for? Because again, a lot of schools offer interdisciplinary programs as well too, right? So is that what this school is absolutely known for? Is what I would again, I don't know. I haven't done the research on this school. I'm not a I don't know all these schools by heart, right? But the question is, I'm not sure if that's them. Because again, here's the issue with that, right? If they're not absolutely known for that, you just try to pull pieces together. That's the issue I'm seeing over here. You're saying that you want to spend more time on AI, then I'd ask you why not just go down computer science? You don't have to go down dentistry. That's all too, right? I'm assuming your two things could be two different concepts too. So again, that's why like your reasons why you want to do this the accelerated program. The first logic doesn't make a lot of sense because if you say, hey, I want to not apply to dental school, right? Imagine your dentist tell you, yeah, I got to skip applying. That's what too. How safe would you feel? I would say like throw it back to you like reality. How safe would you feel over here? It's a little tougher there. Um, but then the second one, I'm assuming like there's something special that the school offers is the key there as well too. I think again, I would do research if it's the real answer. If they're really big on interdisciplinary, then focus on that. But if they're not, if there's just a thing, in theory, any school does that, right? Every school wants you to have a pretty diverse education. They're gonna have you integrate stuff. You are gonna do some gen ed from other departments as well too. So for me, I'm not fully sold on the why 7 years is kind of the why you want to do a accelerated program. I can see if you told me, Coach, I want to do AI, I see that. I can see that pretty clear, right? So if you focus more on that, that makes sense. But the reason, the issue of this first response is that you're saying, I want to go down this, I want to speed through my dental program because of AI over here. And it's not seamlessly connected to the point that I would feel confident in this response. Does that make sense? Does that you guys you understand what I'm saying? What I'm talking about over here? Right. So then to answer the question, it goes back to this is a accelerated program. So why do you want to do dentistry? Why do you want to go faster? Why not go slower? Like, what's the issue of going slower and doing the traditional way? 99% of people will go the traditional way. So what makes you part of that 1% that will speed up and why do you want to do it faster is the key. And that's a really hard question because most people don't really have a really good answer for that, is the key too. Unless you have a personal reason, right? Why you want to do it so fast as well too, is the key. I think the AI makes sense if you're answering AI, but the issue is merging it together. That's where I see a disconnect right now. So I would again try to see what's super unique about the UPenn School of Dental, right? And what's special about that school that other schools can't say, and that's the angle you want to go after. Okay, so I think that's the one for the first one, and then second one, what applied motivate you to apply. We believe in pausing, celebrate the good, meaningful moments. What's great happening in life? Why it matter? Reading to be a real pro on high school. And phone, different news, each one watch YouTuber. And for the first time, for some wonder. How much I breaks. How much you're clarifying. Quick nice, awesome. So the second was a little more clear, right? The second was more clear, but you're talking a lot about what I would double down a little harder into this section though is talk about you mentioned that you lost your like love for reading, but reading got you back here. And then you mentioned the sense of wonder. Talk to me about the sense of wonder. Is kind of what I would recommend as well too. Why did it go away, right? And what made everything? And why do you even come back? Because again, factually, your phone is still much more fun than reading a book, if that makes sense, right? So think about it and like what brings you back to reading now. I think I would also double down a little harder on like why you enjoyed reading from the past, like give me a little insights to your brain from before over here, and then that way you can kind of tie back to uh like again your idea of rekindling your love for reading, right? Why did you like it in the past? Why do you re-like it back as well too? And also what changed, because you wouldn't change unless there's something that caused the change. So for me is what caused the change to want to go back to reading as well too. I think that should answer the question. What's something great happening? Could be accomplishment, celebrates, and then you want to talk about joy, pride, and motivation. Pick one of those and to make sure you talk about that in the answer, right? So you kind of, again, these prompts, they give you the answer, they tell you what they want to see, so they want you to bring this back to a moment of joy, a pride, or motivation for you. So whatever the answer is, I'm assuming it's joy based on what I'm hearing so far, right? Bring it back and use the word joy, right? This is the thing, that joy, and here's why, right? Why is it bringing you joy compared to other things that you could do? And then again, almost contrasting that with other things you could have done. Why not just keep scrolling TikTok as well too? Anything else there? Does that make sense? Talk how I sped through classes. I like that as well too. So, cause I think you do enroll pretty quickly, right? At the college as well too. Yeah. So I think for me, you can again. I think that's probably a faster angle to answer the why, the seven, the quicker years. I would also again to yes to that one, but I would also add one more thing. What's so unique about that school? Right? What's so unique about this school that other schools don't have? Little spoilers for you. If I was writing this, I would ask AI to help me. So I'll tell you, like, what's so special about this school that other schools can't brag or can't say about? Because then that can help you do research really quickly as well too. Then you can understand, oh yeah, that's definitely me, or that's something I can tack onto and focus on that. Because if you say, oh yeah, they produce great dentists, like every school produce great dentists, right? Oh, they have you do interdisciplinary. Most schools actually have you do the same thing, so that's not a special thing at a school. So I would see, and again, if the school wasn't that special, they wouldn't offer it, right? They'd copy from another school. They're like, hell yeah, go here instead. But the reason why they exist is because there's something probably unique about them that other people can't say. So figure what that is, and that applies to you. That's the most important part. Got it? Yes. I'm assuming yes. Awesome. Yeah, for sure. For sure. For sure. All right, let me poke next question over here. Looks like we have a Christy has a multi-part question as well too. Is there a max credit of units you can take before they consider student transfer into sophomore year? Great question. So, and does it risk losing first year scholarship? I see transfers have it way harder. So transfers is based on the application you apply, not the credits you have. So even if you have 100 units before before high school graduation, you're still a high school first year applicant. To be a transfer by definition is you have your high school diploma or your GED, graduate from high school. You take one class at the college, then when you apply, then you're a transfer student. But even if let's say you have 100 units, so the scenarios, right? Scenario one, you have 100 units, the go extreme, right? 100 units as a high school senior, you're applying to college. No matter what it is, you're still applying as a first year at the school. Condition number two, you have 100 units, you take a gap year, right? You don't apply that year, you don't take any classes. So when you send in, so when you apply as a first year again, you're a first year. The third step, like I said, you finish high school, over summer you take one class. Then when you apply again, you're officially a transfer. That's the differences here. Okay, so that's that. Does it risk losing first year scholarship options? If you're a transfer, you wouldn't be a first year anymore. So that's why it is as well. Okay. Is that next one, IB versus AP. Lots of odd class names for IB. Seems more streamlined. Any preferences for top colleges? So IB versus AP, they're both similar. Some schools offer IB classes. Some schools offer AP classes. AP is actually a very US thing. If you go outside the US, no one really does APs besides the US folks do. Internationally, every other country except for us use IB. So IB is actually the global like normed rigor, right? But the US likes to do it their own way. So they have AP. They're indifferent. The IB is a global curriculum with a 2 year program, right? Junior, senior year, you take three honor level, three standard level classes, and then it's a 2 year program. You pass the IB exam, get college credit. You take the theory of knowledge class and a few. I think that's and something else, and then you qualify for the IB diploma. APs, there's like what, and then I think there's like 20, 30 classes for APs, right? And they're year by year. Same thing, same concept though. You take a class, you take the exam to get the college credit for it as well too. So either or is fine. It depends on preferences, right? For me, I'm a neither fan. I'm a dual enrollment fan. If you had a dual enrollment option, I would pick that over these two as well too. Okay. Christy here. If the another one, if the same dual enrollment are offered high schools, do colleges roll their eyes when you take it at a community college? So we don't roll eyes at anything. It's number one, right? So I think again, it depends why you're doing it. For us, when we recommend dual enrollment, which I do to like everyone I talk to, we are doing it simply for the rigor of the schedule. Sometimes, right? For one extreme, your high school's really chill with it. Your high school's really cool with it. As a result, they let you double dip, right? You can take a high school class. It counts as you take a college class and it gives you a high school credit at the same time as well too. So there's schools that do this, like early colleges, middle college. I opened my own high school called Unity Middle College. That's the whole premise of our school. We send the kids to the college. They take the classes. We'll give them the dual credit for the high school as well too. Most schools don't do this, by the way, just a heads up. If they're not like designed around that. Most high school counselors you want you to take classes at your own school, which is fine as well too. There's nothing wrong with that either. We just tell them to take other classes, right? There's tons of like in college, there's classes that high schools don't offer. Most schools don't offer anthropology. Most schools don't offer sociology. Most classes don't offer public speaking, communications. These are other classes that most colleges do offer, high schools don't offer as well. So something to consider. I would again, we're doing it again. It's to understand why we're doing. We're doing for the rigor of the schedule is the key here. Okay. All right. Let's see. Dun, 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 dun. How should I answer this question? How did you first learn about the Lehigh University? What motivated you to apply? Is it okay? I was looking for a 7-year program. Could I have entered the environment location? You could. Again, so for me, the first part is more for them. I feel like marketing for them to understand. The real question is more for the second one, like what motivated you apply. So I think that's gonna be the thing for you. Is the key. You can say it started off by looking for accelerated programs, but you fell in love with the other parts of the school, right? Don't say I'm only applying because you have an accelerated program. That's not usually a reason why you do accelerated programs, right? But then you can say you start the search for it, but the key of it is and the other factors that you care about in a school. And again, going back, it has to be unique to them, right? Don't say you have a great professors, a great environment. Most schools have great professors, great environment. So what's something specific and unique just to that school? That's going to be the key to consider over here. Model, yes and no as well too. Because again, I can make it. I live by every school. Again, most schools models are pretty like universally good things, right? Do well for the world. The UCs is what Fiat Lux, right? Follow the light or be the light or something, right? So all the schools have really cute lines. Again, what's so specific? Again, going back, what's specific about that school that makes you want to go there? Is the key. I think that's it's same thing again. This is like practice for a school for work in the future, right? Why do you want to work at our company versus work at other companies as well too? Every company or school will have a unique culture. You mentioned that, right? A unique kind of thing that they're driving towards. Again, there's people again, like again, Nvidia, one of the fastest growing companies in the world. Some people will work there. 99% of people who are going to watch this video, you don't even qualify because their work level is so extreme if you see how they do it, right? That none most of us would not do the work, right? Just because that's not who we are as well too. But they are paid very, 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 very well. And they are very, very, very smart for what they do as well too, right? Same thing with a lot of things. So understanding kind of different what's so special about that school, why do you want to be there and why are you a good fit? They just try to see if it's a good fit. If it's a good fit, it's a good fit there for you guys as well too. Okay. All right, next question. She wants to stay in the US, take it 10th, 11th. I'm assuming this is the IB versus AP. IB doesn't mean you have to go out of state, by the way. If the school offers IB, I usually say, oh, if your school offers not, and again, this is like the flip example. Not many schools in the US offer IB. So if your school offers IB, I say, are you going to go for the full curriculum? Because if you're going to go for the full curriculum, cool, that makes sense. But if you're not going to go for the full curriculum, then why even do IB? Go for the AP as well. It's kind of the high level thing. Is it more rigorous than IB? Depends how you define rigorous. From a reader's point of view, IB, AP do remember on the same level of rigor, right? So for me, dual enrollment is the shortest, like it's half a year, one semester. IB is 2 years long. So for me, I'd rather be efficient here because we're spending so much energy on the academics. I'd want to know how about your activities because the activities is the real differentiating factor, right? Because everyone's smart now. There's nothing special about classes, but what makes you different is the hours that you spend on your activities. So if you're doing so much on school, you lose the hours over for the activity section over there. Okay. I heard of dual enrollment counts for high school credit. College won't accept it. I don't know if that is factually correct or not as well too. But again, dual enrollment. Our goal of doing dual enrollment is to show rigor on our schedule. That's what I'm optimizing for. I don't care about GPA. Keep your grades strong, but we want to optimize for the rigor of your schedule. It means the most AP, IB, or dual enrollments, right? Dual enrollment has the fastest way to get there because now you have more time to spend on activities, right? It's a big macro because people talk like, but Coach Tony, AP's a full year. Coach Tony, IB's 2 years. I'm aware of that, but it's got to be relatively the same, right? Where our kids who are going to stand out is they do that and they do 20, 30 hours of activities, right? If you do all this stuff, if you spend so much time on school, there's physically no way you can spend 20, 30 hours on activities. Our students do. So because of that, right, our students would look a lot look a little stronger because academics everyone looks the same anyways. The checkbox is there, right? But what makes you different is the activities. And later on, kind of like what Afras asked earlier, is going to be your essays. That's gonna be the most important part of the whole piece as well too. So for me, it's a strategic answer. We want to do well, but spend as little time as we can so that we can spend time on the activity section itself here. Does that make sense, Christy? I know you asked that question, so awesome, fantastic, fantastic, cool, cool. Any other questions? It's been fun. If not, we can end it early. Last week I just stared at myself for 30 minutes, but looks like today we had a few questions. That was fun a little bit. I want to start the countdown. She's varsity, so time for that matters. 100%, right? Our goal is to again let her to have the time for the varsity. So how do we reduce that? We take AP dual enrollment to reduce the time, and it'll probably be a mixture, right? Again, my best scenario, I'll do all dual enrollment. Most schools will probably won't let you do that, so do a mixture, right? Half AP, half dual enrollment, for example, is like an idea for that as well. I know UCs want at least 3 years of foreign language. My child took 2 years of Spanish in middle school, taking Spanish 3 in high school. There's no way she can survive AP. Want to do? Technically, Spanish 3 is your third year, so you should be done. Unless you're thinking like semesters 1, 2, 3, 4. But if you're taking the equivalent, which is Spanish, I'm assuming Spanish 3 at your school is the third year of Spanish. You should be done after this year, especially if you're not going to be a language major, like a linguistics major. Don't feel you got to take AP Spanish as well. So yeah, I think Spanish 3 should be fine for you guys there. My child's interested in animation science. Please recommend Bachelor's of Science program. Question for you: why does it have to be a Bachelor's of Science? Is the is the thing? Why not Bachelor's of Arts as well too? Because science majors can have Bachelor's of Arts as well too, right? So I think the question here, I would Google. That's definitely a Google question, not a Tony Brain question as well too. So I would look up majors that are offered. For me, I would say look at technical side. Still, you still do bachelors of arts as well too, right? So the science of the arts versus science doesn't really matter too much in the real world, so I wouldn't worry so much there. I would look into figuring out if you're interested in animation science. I would lean for science first because science overlays are more competitive than the animation slash art overlays. So I would plan for science, which means on your schedule you would want to have strong math at least to like Calc BC, Calc 2, and then whatever the science is going to be that you're doing, biochem, physics as well too, right? So I would do that. And just look for fields. Again, keep in mind, I would look at the college more than the majors because again, statistically, 80% of your students will switch majors. So whatever major you're going to college with, they're probably not going to graduate with that either. They're going to switch to something else, right? But what you don't switch a lot is your college. So make sure the college is going to be a good fit first, then find a major that makes sense. Because at the end of the day, there's no major that equals a career, right? You can be whatever major and end up whatever career. Like I did not go to college for college admissions. That was not a major that I studied into, right? I was a political science major, political economics major. So poli-sci economics was what I did, right? As well too. I don't do that to that all to this day as well too. But if something I studied, I was probably studying the same thing again if I went back to college. Loved it. It was great. But it's not the career side. So we're going back to your question. I would figure out, I would prep for a science major for you, and to keep it broad, right? And look for colleges that will be a good fit for you, and then work backwards to get there. Because animation, that not many schools offer animation. They might have arts, and then animation is one of the classes you take, or you can join animation clubs or animation things at the school as well too. Does that make sense? Recommends extracurricular summer programs. We have a bunch of trainings on this as well. I believe I did a training on arts. So if you go on YouTube, look up egelloC, summer programs, egelloC, extracurriculars for arts as well too. I believe I recall doing these trainings as well too. I give you ideas because there's no magical list, right? You guys are only hoping Coach Tony give me an answer as well too. I'm gonna save those answers for our coaching family. So if you want to be a coaching family, you guys can join our team and give you the exact answers. But when it comes to the answers could be anything. So it could be clubs. You can join clubs for this. You can join summer programs for this. You can join research for this. You can do internships. You can do jobs. You can do volunteering. You can shadow. You can take a class online. The mechanism, the how you do it, doesn't matter. That's the real answer. Doesn't matter what it is. The answer is, again, when it comes to activity, there's two buckets you want to show. Taste your major, show me your interest in these fields, and personal interest. Do things not related to your major, so I know you're human. Those are the two things that you want to make sure you have in your profile there. Okay. Will this look bad? Should she start a new language? If you start a new language, you're starting over again. So I don't know if you want to start over in language. So again, three is fine. Again, if you don't trust me, go call up the UCs, ask the UCs, hey, my child's doing speed three, is that good enough as well too? I'm sure they'll say the same thing as I did as well. Is the key there. Okay. Afraz, I feel like showing the rigor I did in high school is not enough to justify the seven programs. Is there a benefit that relates to this to highlight? Like, why does rushing through rigorous courses help? That's a good point as well too. Again, my honest opinion, doing this for so long now, a lot of people want to do the accelerated programs. You don't really want to do the accelerated programs, right? So talking, I think our BSMD coach recommends people not like if you watch our training video of her, she went through it herself. She helps people with it. We tell every student, are you sure? As well too, because again, you're locking your life. These accelerated programs, there's no reverse button, right? Imagine this: you go get your bachelor's degree, then you go down to dental school. If you don't commit to dental school, you still have a degree to go with stuff. But a lot of these programs that are like direct admit, if you halfway decide you don't want to be a doctor anymore, you have nothing. You start from the very, very beginning as well too. So the question, that's why when this is a very easy way to filter through students who are really 7-year accelerated programs or not. Because if you can't give me a reason why you're doing 7-year program, imagine your competition as well too. How strong would their answers be? Is the key. So that's something to consider, to think about as well too. I knowing what I know now, I would never do accelerated program for anyone or recommend it for any student. Why the rush? There's actually never a rush for anything in today's world, to my knowledge. Why you want to speed things up? All the people who did these programs and doctors and people in these fields, no one has said, "I'm so glad I got to this career faster." I've never heard that yet as well too, is the key. But again, that's why going back to you, Fraz, if there's a reason why you feel you want to go there, that's your reason. But if you can't think of a reason, it's one of the things to kind of like, reflect a little bit. Why are we even applying early? Or why are we doing the accelerated program? Because there's going to be people with very strong reasons why. And by the way, for those of you who do accelerated program, if your goal has anything to do with time, that's usually the wrong answer. So I think Coach Sonia, she's our BSMD kind of our coach there. She and I did a few trainings. If you watch her videos, she did explain a probably very probable reason why you want to do a BSMD, like that path as well too. And if you didn't even think of it as your first call, that might not be the right path for you. It has nothing to do with time, by the way. The speed of thing is not why you want to do it. But there's a reason why BS what the all BSMD kids who like their incoming class, what they all had in common is the thing. Debating dual enrollment competitive summer program is never an or, it's an and. I would do the dual enrollment and the competitive summer program. First off, did you even get into the program? Because if you haven't gotten a program, you have no choice. So apply first, see what you have, and the question is and. Sleeping is not included. No, for me, I prioritize sleep. I think sleeping is the most important thing for high school students. Sleeping is the most important thing, and like I call it me time, video game time as well too, right? Someone doesn't agree with my and. Let's do some quick Mickey Mouse math for you guys, right? A day has how many hours? 24 hours in a day, right? 7 days a week, 168 hours in a week, right? If you sleep 8 hours a night, 8 hours a night, that's a full hour sleep, right? 56 hours gone as well, too. Let's add 2 hours a day of YouTube, Netflix, TikTok. That's 14 hours gone. Let me do some math. I can't do math in my head anymore, right? 56 hours plus 14, that's 70 hours gone. If you take those two out, there's still 98 hours in a week. How many hours is your summer program? At most, what? 8 hours a day. That's like a full day program, right? 8 hours times what? 5 days a week. That's 40 hours gone. You're still 58 hours in a week, right? A class. How long does a class take you to do? Maybe 2, 3 hours a week, maybe five. Let's say 5 hours a week, right? Maybe at homework, 10 hours a week. You still have 48 hours, 48 hours in a week as well too. Right? She's traveling every weekend. Take out the weekends. That's how many hours there? It's 28 hours as well too. Right? 48 minus 20, 28. There's 20 hours in a week. So I think the we underestimate time. So here's the example you guys can do and come back to me. And if you truly are that busy, kudos to you. But most students aren't that busy, right? It's the way they manage their time. When you wake up, here's the activity. Parents can do it too. When you guys wake up for a week, 7 days, right? 7 days, wake up and every 30 minutes, write exactly what you did, what you're doing right now, right? So I woke 7 a.m., wake up. 7:30, brushing my teeth. 8 o'clock, breakfast. 8:30, go to school. 9 o'clock, school. 10 o'clock, school, right? Or like parents, work. And then what you'll see how about the rest of the day as well too. Students have time, right? It's just that usually, and another way to check, go on your phone. A lot of us are on our phones now. Look at your screen time, right? Look at your screen time. I would argue, I would be willing to bet a lot of us spend hours on things on a weekly basis on our apps on our phone as well too. Hours. And I was like, okay. So guys, that's all. The thing is there is time. Again, there's very, very few students that actually proved me wrong and be like, wow, you really, really are busy. Very, very rare. Those are the kids that go to Ivies. So I tell you, right? I'm like, wow, they do. They end up going to Ivies. I had a student who woke up at 3 in the morning to do a summer program on the other side of the world because he was so busy with his other stuff that he couldn't squeeze in time as well too. Definitely unhealthy. But definitely don't do that. He was fine. He loved it. It was great for him. But for most people, again, I do not recommend that as well too. I'm really big on the mental health, right? Making sure you're good, making sure everything's good to go as well too. You can have it all if you plan it out. The thing is, all of us are reacting, right? That's why, hey, when you going to sleep? When I finish my homework? No. You sleep at this time because you're sleeping at this time, right? You're doing homework here. You gotta compress the time, right? If it's just a rule, I'll leave you guys with this because it's pretty much at the time mark. Your work goes to the limit that you spend. Again, think of students, think of like projects you have in school, right? It's due on Friday. Guess when you have it done? On Friday, right? Something's due in 2 weeks. When do you have it done? In 2 weeks. Uh-oh, you have to finish by tomorrow. Guess what happens? You finish by tomorrow. There's a rule. I forgot the name of it. There's a rule where you finish up to the limit that you set stuff as well too. So if you say I'm gonna finish my homework then go to bed, that's why your kids stay up to 1, 2 in the morning, right? But if you say, hey, I gotta finish by 10 because I'm going to bedtime at 10, they will finish within that time as well too, or they will figure it out how to do it and they will adjust it in the future as well. Again, this is like a off topic tangent thing. Timing is a really big thing. It's one of the core things. Again, at the end of the day, I always joke I'm a professional time manager for our students. Figure out what things to spend their time on because not everything. If you had a limited hours, you do it all. But because we don't have limited hours, there are things that matter, and this is why you see stories of kids who are really smart. Kids doing a lot of things, they get rejected. Not because they're not good enough, smart enough. They spend their times on the wrong things. That's all it is, right? And with that, That's a great ending message for 2025. Thank you, everyone, for hanging out with me here today. This is our last call, last training of 2025. Next time I'll hang out with you guys will be in the new year, 2026. You guys have a great rest of your holiday season. Enjoy family. Happy New Year. I'll see you guys next time. Bye, everyone.